this morning, as I was setting off, the DHL driver turned up and he had a box. And so I thought, shall I leave the box at home and deal with it when I get back? But I didn't. I unpacked it, and inside the box was this. So Bluetti contacted me a couple of days ago and said, would you like to have one of these and review it for the YouTube channel? And I said, yes, please, thank you very much. So it arrived today. And I thought, well, seeing as I'm going away in the van, I'll take it with me and see how it goes. So anyway, the first thing that grabbed me when I took it out the box was this. Now, I wasn't expecting this. And obviously, this is the mains charger. So when you want to charge this, you have to use this. Now, it doesn't matter to me because I never ever will charge it on the mains anyway. But if I did, would this be a problem? I don't know. It's quite a sizable brick, to be honest with you. Don't know. Anyway, we'll leave that to one side because it doesn't affect me. So let's have a look at what this is. And for those of you that have lived on Mars for the last 10 years and don't know what this is, let me explain. So this is basically a power bank. We're all familiar with USB power banks. We carry them around because our phone runs out of battery. We plug it in and it provides battery charge to our phone. This is a big version of that, basically. So in here we've got a battery. I'll come to the specs later, by the way. In fact, I'll put a link down below to the specs. This video, by the way, will probably take place over 2 or 3 takes because I'm going to introduce you to it today. Then I'm going to use it and I'm going to video that, and I'm going to then summarize what I think, and yeah, we'll see how we get on. But anyway, so there's a battery in here, a rechargeable battery. This connection here is where we would plug either our mains adapter or even a 12-volt adapter. So driving down the motorway here, I've had it on charge and it's been charging through my cigarette lighter at roughly 100 watts an hour. So I think the actual charge capacity of this is around about 600 watts. So therefore you can equate that to roughly 6 hours worth of charge at 12 volts. Okay. In here also you can plug a solar panel. And we'll save that for another video because I don't want to talk about other devices other than this Bluetti. Okay, so that's how you charge it. So you can charge it by mains, you can charge it by 12 volts, you can charge it by solar. So what does it actually do? So what happens is you charge the battery. So let's have a look at it now. Okay, so it's full. It's charged while I've been driving down the motorway from the 12 volts and it's now full. So what this basically does is it stores the charge and it gives me the ability to be able to power things. So if I wanted to, I could power something from 12 volts with a cigarette lighter. Say for instance, a tyre inflator, okay, a compressor. Also, you can use these to power 12-volt devices. I don't know what I would plug into these, so I don't know how useful these are to me. What we've also got is some USB, high current USBs. So if you've got an iPad, you can plug your iPad in there and it will charge it really, really quick. And you've also got some really high current fast charge PD ports. So these are USB-C, and if I was to use a USB-C to a USB-C cable to charge my tablet, it would charge it really, really quick. Okay, so that takes care of the DC output part. But in addition to that, we've also got AC output. So inside here, we've got an inverter. And what that inverter does is it takes the battery power and converts it up to 240 volts so that you can plug into there 240 volt things. I'm not going to say things like hair dryers because anything that's going to zap far too much current isn't going to work. But this is rated up to 1000 watts. So over the next few days, what I'm going to try and do is cook my breakfast on it with a teppanyaki griddle. Okay, so you've got two 3-pin plug sockets basically, and you can turn them on with this little switch here. What else to tell you? On the top we've got a, what do they call these? I don't know what they call them. I haven't got anything that charges with this method, but it's a wireless charger. It's actually written on it, duh. But anyway, some phones, some modern phones, have the ability to charge by literally just putting your phone on top of there. Don't need to plug it in. Brilliant. Something that I do like is the way that the handle folds down, nice and flat. You know, if you really wanted to, you could actually put one on top of the other. Okay, what's on the side? Nothing. Maybe a bit of a vent, air cooling vent maybe on the back. Nothing. On the other side, nothing. Okay, so everything's on the front, which is fine. No problem with that. I don't think there's anything on the bottom. Nope. Okay, and we've also got a light, and if you turn the light on, yeah, okay, it's an LED. Turn it on again, it goes brighter. Turn it on again, and it will flash SOS. Okay, so what we've got here, we've got a display showing how much input and how much output. So if I had this plugged into the cigarette lighter like I did earlier, it showed 100 watts going in, nothing coming out. And what I'm going to do tomorrow, I'm going to show you plugged into some electronic devices and show you it drawing current out. It feels really nice. Obviously it's heavy because there's a big battery in there. Right, so it's the morning and my plan is to cook my bacon and egg roll on my Bluetti. So let's see how we get on. Right, so straight away it's come up with overload. Okay, so maybe if I just turn the thermostat down a bit. No, overload. Looks like I'm going to have to cook the bacon and eggs on the gas. There you go, nearly done. And there you go, that's what the Bluetti should have done. I thought I would try the microwave. Now this is only a small microwave, 600 watts apparently, and literally I've got half a mug of water. Let's see if this can heat it up enough for me to make a cup of coffee. Okay, so straight away the fan's kicked in on the Bluetti. And it's working. There you go, 978 watts. Cup's going round. I would say this will need probably a minute and a half. About right for a cup of coffee now, so let's just stop it. You may be able to hear the fan. Yeah. Okay. Yep. I would say that is the sort of temperature for a cup of coffee. So, yeah, I'm really pleased with that. And looking at the display, doesn't seem to have even made a dent in the capacity of the battery or the energy that's stored in the battery. So that's brilliant news. I was showing this to a fellow camper yesterday, and what they said, which I hadn't considered, was there are people out there with medical conditions that need to have a power supply, an uninterruptible power supply. And whether they're at home or whether they're in a tent or whether they're in a motorhome or whatever, having that 240 volt power supply could be the difference between, well, could be the difference between life and death. So that was something that I'd never considered, was actually using this in the house. And actually, I don't know whether you can do this. I don't know. I'd need to look into it. Maybe if you know, maybe you could put some comments and let us know. But maybe you can actually power a device from this at the same time as charging it. I'm sure you can actually. So therefore, it kind of acts as a backup. If the power gets switched off, then at least this device will keep the the computer or the medical device on. So while I've been out today, I bought this. Partly because I thought it was a really good idea to have in the van. Now I'm hoping that it obviously works. I've took it out of the box and I've got it set up. For those of you that don't know what this is, it's an air fryer, which is yeah, basically an electric oven, but on a small scale. So let's plug it into the Bluetti, see if it works. Right, now one of the things I didn't notice when I bought it is that you've actually got different temperatures, and I would imagine the higher the temperature, the more power it's going to draw. So let's start it off on the lowest, see what the Bluetti does, and then up the power and see when it cuts out. So, yep, okay, we've got some juice, we've got no draw yet because it's not on. So let's just switch it on. No, overload straight away. That is a real shame. I hate to say this because I do like this device, but I think, taking into account it can't power the air fryer and it can't power my teppanyaki grill, maybe this isn't the right device for people like me trying to live off-grid, but still wanting to cook things on electric. Maybe, you know, I know Bluetti do different devices which have got more capabilities in terms of wattage. So maybe if you're looking at buying one of these devices, maybe you should look at one of their bigger devices rather than this one. This one's probably okay for camping, you know, charging your phones and doing very low power consumption tasks. So after a few days off grid, my laptop is starting to run down a little bit. So another really useful use for this is to plug the laptop in, because as your laptop is probably like mine, when the battery level goes to a certain level, the screen starts to dim and everything starts to get a little bit slow. But having it plugged in here means that it's now on mains, it's charging, and everything's running as fast as it should. So yeah, another really good use for it. Right, so back home now, and I've thought about this driving up the motorway, and to be totally honest with you, I don't think I've been very fair to this device. So therefore I'm going to give you another conclusion. For what this is, I think it is absolutely brilliant. Because at the end of the day, when Bluetti created this, they didn't create it with someone like me that was trying to cook their breakfast on a teppanyaki grill or use an air fryer. They created it to make it useful to someone that maybe is going to the beach or maybe is in a tent. And therefore, for that job, I think it is really, really good. And I think it's also important to point out that Bluetti do make other devices, bigger devices, devices that are more capable of doing what I want to do with them. So where this device can deliver up to 1,000 watts, what I was trying to do was draw more than 1,000 watts, which obviously isn't going to work. So therefore, the fact that the teppanyaki grill and the fact that the air fryer didn't work should be no surprise. For what this is, for what it's designed for, I think it's absolutely brilliant. And if you're looking for something to take to the beach or take on a picnic, power a medical device, then yeah, I think this is a great device for that. So full disclaimer, I'm not being paid by Bluetti. However, Bluetti did send me this device to do a review on. The opinion that I've given you is my opinion, and hopefully it's accurate. I've tried my hardest to make it as accurate and unbiased as I can. And yeah, if you like videos like this, then why not go ahead and take a look at some of the other videos that I've done on my channel. Okay, until next time, thanks very much. There's links down below to the Bluetti website where you can find more information. But for now, thanks very much. Bye-bye.